Alright, before I begin, I need to provide a quick piece of evolutionary backstory. Transformers shared a common ancestor with another popular 80s cartoon, Robotech. This is why Jetfire is just a repainted version of this Robotech toy. To avoid legal complications, the producers of Transformers created Skyfire. Entirely different character. The upshot of all this is, if you had parents who were rich and cool enough to buy you Jetfire, who towered over all the other toys in the line and, like all the best Transformers, had metal parts, you would never see your toy represented on the cartoon. And if you really grew to love Skyfire, well, you couldn't have a toy that represented him. Everybody's happy. Here endeth the lesson. Megatron develops some new scheme involving draining the Earth's precious energy, which results in global cooling, and snow that falls up from the ground. Spike and the Autobots ignore the catastrophic implications of this and have a little fun playing in the snow, and making terrible, terrible puns.
There's a flurry in a hurry.
Oh, thanks, Jazz. I get the drift.
But Optimus Prime, being the killjoy that he is, decides that something needs to be done about it. He pinpoints the disturbances to activity in the Arctic Circle and orders everyone to go investigate. You heard me. They drive to the Arctic Circle. Meanwhile, the Decepticons, shockingly the cause of said disturbances, uncover a giant robot under the ice. Apparently he and Starscream were pals back in the day, came to explore Earth and got separated. Starscream searched half the globe looking for his scientist pal, but never thought to look in the spot where he crashed. So he gave up, went back home, and forgot all about him. So Megatron talks the big guy into joining their evil cause. He's reluctant, but if his buddy Starscream, whom we all know to be a reasonable and trustworthy sort of guy, is part of this cause, it must be okay. Oh yeah, Starscream's suddenly obedient in this one since the plot calls for it. Skyfire, who, despite being a scientist, acts more like a lumbering Frankenstein, follows his orders, Autobots bad, and attacks. But when he realizes the gentle, fuzzy, hard-headed humans are on the Autobots' side, that's where he decides to draw the line. I mean, who in their right mind could bring themselves to harm a grown man who calls himself Sparkplug? Lots of padding happens in the form of exciting battles, and we get another goddamn cop-out involving holograms. This happens.
You disgust me.
And then, shockingly, Skyfire switches sides and saves the day. Then, tragically, he's lost in the ice again, and once again no one can be bothered to dig him out. What, not a single one of you Autobots has a retractable hand that turns into, I don't know, a blowtorch or an ice pick? You ungrateful pricks. And now it's time for this week's science lesson. If you drain the energy from the Earth's core, apparently it will cause snow.
Ironhide's carrying too much lead in his caboose.